Marvel Snap has been out for almost a month now, and I think it's about time that we get some balance changes. I think a lot of stuff is pretty well balanced, I would say, but still definitely some power outliers. There's a lot of people playing the same cards, and there's a lot of some cards that are just strictly worse than other cards. So today I'm going to go through all the changes that I would make. There's a lot of changes in this list. I'm not expecting so many changes, but I'm gonna go quick here and just go through everything that I think can get a little buff or get a little nerf to it. And let me know what you think down below. Let's get started. The first card right here is Crystal. You probably have never even seen this card before because nobody plays it. I think 4 energy is just a little too much for this card, so I would bring it down to 3 energy with 3 power. And I think it could be playable. I'm not sure if that makes it too strong because you could just dump your hand really early and then get this out. But I think that would be a nice change to see, so we could see this get some play. I think leader is just a little too strong. I would make it at 3 power, and hopefully that helps a little bit. And just because I suggest a minimal change for the card, I'm not exactly expecting it to fix all the problems with it. There's a lot of cards that you can't really change the card too much without actually having to change the whole ability. So that's why I'm opting to go for these small changes, and small changes can actually add up quite a bit. So 3 power on this card I think would just help out a bit in the game and make this card just harder to play. Angelo is one of the most played cards in the game. I suggest that we make this a 0 power card and you keep it at the 2 energy because as it stands right now, it's 2 energy for 7 power a lot of the time, and that is a lot of power. Another one of the most played cards across all ranks, Devil Dinosaur. I would make this card cost 6 energy and I would make it 4 power. This would disable the ability to play 2 of these in conjunction with Moon Girl most of the time. And it still does leave it as a pretty powerful card, because if you do have a full hand and you play Devil Dinosaur on 6, it's still going to be very strong. It would be a 16 power, which is quite powerful. But you do have to have that full hand when you are going to play this, so that is the one thing with that. Sarah is debatably the strongest card in the entire game. The best pool 3 card that you could hope to pull. I'm not exactly sure how you change this. If you make, the problem is if you make it less power, then it actually works better with Mr. Negative, because then it's going to be cheaper if you draw it afterwards. So I'm not sure if you touch the power, but I guess I would make it a minimum of 2 energy per card that you play after you play this. I think Destroyer is also a little too strong, so I would make it 15 power. Spider-Man has a pretty strong ability that can close out games, but the power does make it a bit rough, so I would just increase it to 4 power, and I think it could see a bit more play. Uatu has a really interesting ability that can be very strong, but if you don't get it at the beginning, it's pretty rough. So I would like to see Uatu start in your hand at the beginning of the game, but for that exchange, it should be at 1 power. Bucky Barnes is another card that you'll see all the time because a lot of people run the Destroy package with Nova Carnage and Bucky as well. I think that Bucky is fine as it is, but I think that Winter Soldier, the card that Bucky spawns, should be at 5 power instead of 6 power. Leech is another one of those cards that doesn't really see a lot of play, mostly because you're spending so much energy for such little power, even though it may have a powerful effect. So I would like to see Leech come up to at least 4 power. Mr. Negative, another one of the most powerful cards in the game, along with Sarah. I think this card, I can't really change too much about the effect without having to change the complete card, and you can't really change the energy cost, so I would just make it a -3 power. And hopefully that helps enough. Nova, this is a card that was changed in the beta. It used to give +2 power to all your cards when it gets destroyed. It's still run in almost every single deck. This card is super strong, so I mean, I think we may as well make it 1 power. I mean, it's not going to really change too much. It's still going to be a powerful card, but not sure why it really needs the extra power there. Nakia is an interesting one because it's kind of playable, but if you don't hit the right targets with her effect, then it feels really bad to spend 3 energy on a 1 power minion. I mean, you are going to get like your money's worth. You're going to get, it's essentially a 5 power, 3 energy card, but that doesn't really cut it, I think. So I would make Nakia a 2 power card. The Punisher is one of those cards at the beginning of the game when you start that is a pretty decent card to throw in your starting deck, but it does fall off pretty hard and it doesn't really keep up with anything else. So I would make Punisher 3 power. Sandman is another one of those cards that you'll never really see because once again, you're investing a lot of energy for not a lot of power, just like Leech. So I would like to see Sandman get increased to 3 power, and then I think it would actually be a playable card. Because the problem with Sandman is that you are spending your entire turn getting him down, and he doesn't do anything. Like the impact that he has is just not worth the energy cost. Aero has seen a lot of play recently. I think it is very strong. Has a lot of power, and it has a very powerful effect. So I would like to see it come down just a little bit and make it 7 power. Now, the Guardians of the Galaxy characters like Star-Lord, I think they are a little weak, and they don't. There's really no point to playing them, because if you don't hit the effect, then you are just falling pretty far behind, and this effect can be pretty hard to hit. So I would like to see Star-Lord get increased to 3 power, and then reduce the on reveal effect to +2 power. That way that he is actually like not the worst thing ever if you don't hit the effect, and he can still be pretty decent if you do. Piggybacking off of the Star-Lord changes that I would make, I think Groot also can use a little buff, so I would make Groot 4 power, base power, and +2 on the effect. And then the last Guardians of the Galaxy card that I think could use a little change would be Drax. I think Drax could be 5 base power and +3 on the effect. And those are all the changes that I would like to see personally. I know it's a lot of changes. I don't expect them to do all of them, but I would like to see just minimal changes to a lot of cards. I think it could switch up the game, and it can make a lot more things playable, and just like make more of a variety of the cards that you see. Because I personally do feel like I see destroy decks like with Nova Carnage and all this stuff probably like 50% of my games, and you see Angela played a lot. There's a lot of cards that you see played a lot. I hope you like my ideas, and I hope you consider giving me a subscribe on the YouTube channel. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers. It is really awesome to see all the growth come into the channel recently. I'm feeling so good about uploading this Snap content, and I do not plan on stopping anytime soon. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.